5 years ago, something from deep space paid our solar system a visit. Some say this visit was an asteroid, others classified it as a comet. But there's another theory that's something that's completely different. You see, this object was accelerating and moved too fast to be an asteroid. It did not leave a trail of debris like a comet typically would, and it also varied in brightness. Was it part of the remains of some blown-up planet from millions of light years away? Or was it the spacecraft of an extraterrestrial life form from within the depths of the universe? On October 19, 2017, the very first confirmed object from another star to visit our solar system was discovered by the University of Hawaii's Pan-STARRS telescope. The Pan-STARRS telescope is equipped with one of the world's largest digital cameras with almost 1.4 billion pixels. They called it Oumuama, a Hawaiian word meaning a messenger from afar arriving first. A small light was seen flashing against the black of space, which was unlike a typical asteroid. It was something that had never been seen before. The object also had an extreme oblong shape and was 10 times as long as it was wide. Its dimensions were 1,300 feet long and 131 feet thick. The object was also curiously moving at lightning speed, averaging about 87.3 kilometers per second, and exactly because of how quickly it flew past the Earth, there was no way its speed could have been from the sun's gravity alone. The strange thing about Oumuama is that it's neither an asteroid nor a comet, but it had the characteristics of the latter. Comets are cosmic snowballs made up of gases, rocks, and dust that orbit the sun. As a comet gets closer to the sun, it heats up and spews dust and gases into a giant glowing head larger than most planets. The dust and gases form a tail that stretches away from the sun for millions of miles. Compared to another interstellar discovered in our solar system in 2019, which looked and behaved exactly as an ordinary comet would, Oumuamua looked even more curious. Oumuamua was the first ever object seen flying into our solar system and then back out again. That's opposed to most solar system objects that just orbit around the sun, never leaving the celestial neighborhood. This movement through space left astronomers puzzled. There was simply no way that the Oumuamua was speeding through space by the force of gravity alone. Some researchers hypothesized that the Oumuamua was jetting out gas from its sunlit side, propelling it forward like a rocket. But the problem with that theory was that there was no visible escaping gas and no tail either, which is something you would expect from a typical comet. Not only this, but the continuous force seemed to be stronger than any other push that scientists had ever seen from any other comet before. So if it's neither an asteroid nor a comet, that doesn't leave us with too many other possibilities, does it? Theories began to form about the Oumuamua, with many believing that it was actually the spacecraft of a highly intelligent interstellar life form being propelled by an external probe and an internal power source. The other strange thing is that no one had any idea about how old the object was and which solar system it had come from. The speed it was traveling was too fast for our cameras to capture what exactly it looked like or what it was made of, and this contributed to it being one of the most perplexing enigmas in astronomy. Many a researcher has come up with his own set of theories explaining the mystery of the Oumuamua. The chair of Harvard's astronomy department, Professor Avi Loeb, co-wrote a paper examining Oumuama's peculiar acceleration and suggested that the object may be a fully operational probe sent intentionally to Earth's vicinity by an alien civilization. According to Loeb, the process by which Oumuama is propelled forward appears to be some sort of artificial light sail and was likely developed by a technological civilization. The only way that Oumuama would have been able to move through a light sail powered by solar radiation would be if the object were precisely designed to be no thicker than a millimeter and have a very low density with a very large surface area. All these specific requirements make it highly unlikely to have appeared out of the blue. They also do point to the fact that an intelligent extraterrestrial life form is out there and purposely designed such an object. Loeb also explained that the non-gravitational acceleration is a sign of deliberate maneuvering without any outgassing. From a renowned scholar and astronomer, one would have to take a look at the facts and decide. Then there's also another theory that explains that the Oumuama is simply a nitrogen ice pancake or a giant piece of shrapnel that was chipped off a Pluto-like exoplanet during the formation of a distant solar system. Just last year, another theory was published by two researchers from the Arizona state arguing that the Oumuama could be a hydrogen iceberg. In the research, they state that an object could have collided with the planet that Oumuama originated from. This would have caused the oblong-shaped piece of debris to hurtle through our solar system. No one knows for sure what Oumuama is made of, so scientists calculated the different kinds of ice that would change from solid to gas at a rate that would account for Oumuama's rocket effect. It was then concluded that the object was made of nitrogen ice. And because its shiny surface matched the surfaces of both Pluto and Neptune's moon Triton, both of which were also covered in nitrogen, this particular theory of the Oumuama was strengthened. And here's another thing that the scientific community has claimed to have found. Oumuama first entered the solar system in 1995. As it approached our solar system, the heat from the sun slowly melted away the chunks of nitrogen layers around it, removing all but 5% of its original mass. Today, the strange object called the Oumuama is long gone, but astronomers are still working to solve all of the mystery that its visit has raised. Maybe it's an extraterrestrial object, or maybe it simply is a piece of an exoplanet billions of light years away. Either way, it's still exciting and mysterious. As we bid our celestial visitor goodbye, we also say hello to something called Project LYRA, which develops concepts for reaching interstellar objects just like the Oumuama. Its sole purpose is to see if it's possible to send tiny spacecrafts to intercept and study interstellar objects. And while we may never be able to catch up with Oumuama as it sprints across the universe at 750 million kilometers per year, each step forward that we take will allow us to understand it better. Which Oumuama theory do you think makes the most sense? Is it an alien spacecraft, a leftover chunk of an exoplanet, or just another heavenly body? Let us know in the comments below. And if you liked today's video, then make sure that you like and share it and that you subscribe to the channel. We have many more of these coming your way, so stay tuned and see you back here next time.